Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, and welcome to Let's Talk, where we bring insightful conversations on important issues facing our community. I'm your host, Denise Rollard Barnes, and in today's broadcast, we have a segment sponsored by Pepco with their manager of corporate social responsibility, Ralphael Bolton, who will be with us today. In addition, we have Tikisha Wilson, Director of Single Family Programs with the DC Housing Finance Agency, who share valuable insights on housing programs and initiatives in the District of Columbia. And our next segment is sponsored by Tudor Place Historic House and Garden. We have a curator, DeHart, and Tudor Place Descendant, Karl Haynes, and they're going to delve into the rich history and heritage of the iconic Tudor Place property, where we hope some of you will join us when we schedule our African American Heritage Tour next month. So we're going to get a sneak preview of the things that are going on there and what you will be able to see and partake in. And I'm really excited about that. And then finally, Mohamed Jollah, organizer of the Juneteenth Festival in the district at Bryant Street Walk, will talk about the upcoming event celebrating freedom and unity in the community. So we're looking so forward to this program as we recognize June as Home Ownership Month. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along, but I hope you picked up a copy of the most recent issue of the Washington Informer. You know, I like to show you the print edition because it's here. I like to show it to you. And I'm really happy that we took a moment out right here to do a story on Father's Day. You know, Father's Day is coming up on Sunday. Hint, hint, don't forget, Father's Day is coming up on Sunday. So we have a great Father's Day story on the cover and some other great stories that we always are. I'm so proud of our Washington Informer team and how we try our best to keep the Washington community informed about the news and information that makes a difference, that has an impact. But I mentioned to you, well, first of all, I want you to remember that you can pick up the Washington Informer in, well over 600 locations in the DMV. So if you have some questions about where you can get the paper, you can always call us here at 202-561-4100. Again, that's 202-561-4100. Or you can go online, which is where you can get the digital copy of the Washington Informer. But there's also a listing on the website that tells you all of the locations where you can pick up the Informer. But we hope that if you want the digital edition, that you will pick up. You will go to the website at WashingtonInformer.com, where you will get the same kind of news, maybe even a little bit more from our website as we cover the DC area. But I mentioned to you that we also have our, June, as we said, is Home Ownership Month, and we published our annual home ownership issue. You will meet the editor who recently joined us, who will be hopefully with us next week as we talk about the home ownership issue, which was sponsored this year by Wells Fargo. Some great stories in here that you all can use and hopefully make some home ownership decisions, some resources that you can tap into that are available to DC area residents. So we're really proud of this issue, and we hope that you'll pick it up because it is not only included in this week's edition of the Washington Informer, but you can also get that online. So we want you to be sure to share today's broadcast on your social media platforms and follow us on Facebook, IG, X, TikTok, Threads, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I'm asking you, for those who are not watching on YouTube, which is a good place to watch us and follow us, go to our YouTube channel, which is Washington Informer TV, no spaces, as you can see down at the bottom of the screen. When you go to YouTube, go to Washington Informer TV and sign up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you will see so many programs. I know when we started doing Win TV and Let's Talk, gosh, it's almost been 6 years, I think it is. 5 years. Sherry said 5. She's counting. But at any rate, 5 years. And we did this because, for those who may not have heard this story, we were concerned because we were out here covering stories, particularly covering stories related to the COVID pandemic. But the community, we couldn't get out to places to pick up copies of the Informer because everything was closed. And we were trying to figure out, now, how can we continue to share this news with our community? So the birth of Win TV and Let's Talk came. And so every Friday for the past 5 years, we have been bringing you shows, bringing you information from people who are doing things in our community, experts on many, many topics. And we're going to continue to do this. So we hope that you will subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, that's Washington Informer TV. We appreciate it. And actually, so do some of our sponsors, who we'll hear from a little bit more today. So before we get into our program, let's watch our weekly news broadcast by Curtis Knowles.
This is Win TV News, bringing you the news that matters. Cigars may not be for everyone, but Prince George's County, Maryland residents who do enjoy them either have to smoke them at home or look for a lounge or venue in a neighboring jurisdiction, but not for long. The Prince George's County Council voted 11-0 on Tuesday to legalize cigar lounges, which are higher-end establishments that sell expensive cigars and finer types of alcohol. The facilities themselves will be equipped with special air filters, and the law will take effect later in July. Mike Lyles, a citizen of Bowie, said, quote, that we found that a lot of minority and black businesses that operate in this space are successful, and we think that there's a missing economic attractiveness of cigar lounges to PG County. The Adams Morgan Comfort Food Hangout and Bar Duplex Diner, which was popular among locals and DC's LGBTQ+ community, is closing its doors after more than 25 years in business. The diner was unable to renew its lease, according to an announcement made by its owners on social media. Mark Hunker and Jeff McCracken, the restaurant veterans who bought the duplex in 2014, are saying goodbye to Adams Morgan, but hinted at another project in the works. They commented through Facebook saying Jam Holdings is searching for a location in Rehoboth Beach, where they're from, to open a duplex 2.0 and continue its legacy. A small chunk of road along the Potomac River in D.C. near a key commuter route is set to close for the next 6 years and will impact a lot of people's drives into and out of the district. The portion of Ohio Drive in southwest D.C. that will close Monday, June 17th, is from Independence Avenue to the West Basin Drive, which is south of the Lincoln Memorial and just off of the Arlington Memorial Bridge. The road won't reopen until 2030, as it is all part of a major project to build a massive tunnel to keep sewer overflow from running into the Potomac River during heavy rain.
Oh, thank you so very much, Curtis, keeping us up on the news that's in the Washington Informer, but there's so much happening in the DC area. So we're always proud to have him with us to talk about all the things that are happening in the DMV. So now I'm really excited because this segment of Win TV, Let's Talk, is brought to you by Pepco, a longtime partner of the Washington Informer. Has been advertising, we'll be 60 years old this year. Pepco's been with us almost that long. I'm excited to bring to the screen Ralphael Bolton, the manager of corporate social responsibility, and say welcome to Let's Talk.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Glad to be here.
Oh, my pleasure. How are you today?
Doing well. The sun is shining. It's Friday. I'm looking forward to a great weekend. So just happy I could be able to connect with you all today.
Well, it's coincidental that we're going to have one of the hottest weekends so far this year. So we know Pepco is the theme more what is it? More than
energy.
More than energy. Exactly. But we're going to need a lot of energy this weekend to keep us cool.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. But it's Father's Day weekend. Feeling good about celebrating all the good dads out there. So we're excited. We're excited.
Well, let me wish you a happy Father's Day before we get too far into the program. And all the other fathers. Yeah. So tell us what, Ralphael, what is the overview, an overview of corporate social responsibility initiatives and goals?
Sure. So, at Pepco, we pride ourselves on, being more than energy, right? We're not just, in the community. We consider ourselves to be a part of the community and also our responsibility to improve the quality of life for people, in those communities that we serve. Our corporate social responsibility team and strategy focuses on 4 key areas. So the first one being the future workforce. Next being energy empowerment, followed up by local vitality, and then, access to arts and culture as well. So, we have a, philanthropy strategy that, connects with community partners and helps to, enhance all of our efforts to, help to stimulate those communities. And in addition to that, something that I'm very proud of, we recently announced a $7.3 million contribution to all of the HBCUs and community colleges in our footprint as well. So with those funds, we'll be able to, help support those universities and colleges and students with tuition and institutional development and things of that nature. So that's something that we're really, really excited about.
Well, I mean, I can't think of anything that you all have missed. You've got arts and culture, you've got employment, you've got and employment as it relates to HBCUs and the future of Pepco, and then, other areas that Pepco focuses on, which sounds like you're kind of hitting a lot of areas all at once, which is amazing. But how do you also integrate sustainability practices and social responsibility into the overall business strategy of Pepco?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, when it comes to, bringing these strategies and ideas to life, we keep sustainability, at the forefront of all of that, right? So we want to make sure that anything that we embark on, is a sustainable practice and also, is considerate of, all of those involved. Pepco directs our community giving toward organizations that advocate for equal access to arts and culture. And, again, and also those that educate customers, about the energy industry and the science behind all of it. We truly believe that, the path to cleaner, brighter future starts with us, right? We believe that, by lowering the carbon footprint and educating our customers on ways to save money and energy, we're not only supporting DC's clean energy goals, but, we're also protecting the environment for generations to come as well. So that's sort of our general approach to, how we, factor in our sustainability practices in association with our business goals.
I'm going off script a little bit, but with the advent of, energy powered vehicles and solar panels. I mean, a lot of people now are looking, which I'm sure Pepco is a part of all of this as well. How do you promote, where does the community education part come in here? Because one thing that's working is people are talking about how much they're saving, by utilizing these alternative sources of power. But how do you educate, or how does Pepco educate the public on what's available to them?
Sure. So, we go above and beyond to host information sessions that, in the communities that we serve. We also partner with a number of advocates in the space that, will help to, heighten and get our message out to the customers. And then we also have an amazing energy efficiency team that is constantly blasting communications and education as well on, how folks can take advantage or reevaluate their current situations to get the best outcome. So, really, really proud of the work that we're doing and, just look forward to expanding on that here on out.
Pepco has been in the DC, providing services to the DMV, as I said, for many, many years. And we are proud to have been a part of that as well. And, it's for those who hold community events and what have you. We always see members of the Pepco team out there. But how do you engage employees and stakeholders to volunteer in some of the programs that you support?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'll be the first one to say I am very, very proud to be with a company that prioritizes, both DEI and volunteerism. Right. And that's something that we sort of nailed down with folks as they even come into the company. We talk about DEI, we talk about volunteerism. It's fully embedded in our company culture. Right. So that's something that you are expected to incorporate into your lifestyle, not just in the workplace, but, just in the general day to day. Right. So I think all of our employees, our entire team, has a mindset where, hey, we're not just giving things away, we're also engaging as much as possible. And, like I said, that's something that I believe our entire group is proud of.
Well, all of you all, like I said, I won't say all, but, it's always good to see the Pepco team out there involved in a whole lot of, like I said, community events. And then as we talk about Father's Day, and you are a dad as well, as Pepco evolves, how do you sort of share the lessons of what you do? We don't have those take your child to work days. I don't know if we still do that. I don't know if you all still do that. So
We
when you come,
did. We
do
had a
you?
great one
Okay.
this year. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So
Absolutely.
what do you have? A son, daughter, what?
Both. So I
Okay.
have a son that just graduated high school and a
Oh,
daughter that's right behind him. Absolutely.
okay. All right. So what did they do when dad took them to work?
So it's actually for, the younger kids, but fortunate for them, they get to travel with me to work and offsite visits and things like that. Probably more often than some of the other kids. So they've had an opportunity to really, look into what it is that does on a daily basis and how we impact the community overall and the value that brings to the community. So it's been amazing.
But what lessons, I'm wondering, do you share with them, particularly as we're talking about sustainability, and so we're working towards their future. And so what messages do you think they've heard Dad share about their involvement with sustainability?
Yeah, just having a caring mindset, right? Leading by example and always trying to support the best practices, right? Always reevaluating your situation, to bring forth the best outcomes and working together as a team. So again, just having an opportunity for them to see me in action from time to time, I think it's truly been valuable. Seeing the teamwork come together, seeing the results of that teamwork, being selfless and just helping to, support those that are in need, I think have, helped them to really expand their mind and sort of, what their place is in this world. So that's something that I've, truly proud of.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We all hope that we are, as parents, creating paths for our young people to follow, our children, showing them what hard work is all about. I don't know how hard your work is, but I'm assuming you can testify to that, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's definitely different parts of it, right? So
Yeah.
of course there's the the day-to-day functions where we're all in the office and managing some of those challenging day-to-day tasks. But then there's also the work that we do in the community that just warms our heart. So I try to encourage them all the time. Hey, this is more than a job. This is a lifestyle, right? This is something that we fully incorporated into our lives and that we're passionate about. So, it makes the work that much better.
Yeah, I don't know what your path was to Pepco. It would be interesting to note that and kind of how you see your role evolving in the future.
Sure. So, come from humble beginnings, Baltimore City. So, had an opportunity to, grow up and, face some challenges of my own. Persevered through those challenges and setbacks, and then obviously come out on the other side of that. But ultimately, I've been a part of just working within a team and helping others for as long as I can remember. So some of my earlier career, I guess, expeditions kind of factored in operations work and finance and things of that nature. And then I slowly transitioned over to the nonprofit space where I did some work as a executive director with a workforce development group in Baltimore City, helping men, get connected to career pathways and things of that nature. Then I came out of that and went into consulting where I had an opportunity to work on, different regulatory strategies and bringing products and services to market. And then also IT project management and things of that nature. And then I was able to transition over into Pepco to bring some of that experience, to the team. And, it's truly been great. So
Well, I always think it's important. We can't always do it because we don't always have time, but let folks know that or share, their path. We never know where we're going to start or where we're going to end up. But to know that if we hear from others and what their path was all about, it kind of helps us to map our own out. So I'm glad you were willing to share that with us. What else would you like to share with us about what Pepco is up to in the community right now?
Yeah, we're doing a lot. I know you touched on sustainability practices and what we're doing in that space specifically. So one of the initiatives or programs that we currently have is our Sustainable Communities program. Mm-hmm. We have it being administered through Sustainable Maryland. So that program is targeting municipalities and community groups that are, focused on beautifying and, maintaining, our communities, right? So we have one grant that focuses on resiliency, and then another one that focuses on environmental stewardship. So really just, doing everything we can to connect with all of the folks, to help bring forth the best results and, also support environmental sustainability while we're doing that. So whether it's, our Sustainable Communities program or us just partnering with groups like the Arbor Day Foundation to, plant trees and things of that nature, we're doing everything that we can, to help stand up and support that practice. So again, just something else that, we pride ourselves on and that we're proud about in that space in particular.
No, it really pays off, I think, in the long run, just to see you all doing it as a job, as a responsibility to your employer, but also it spills out into the community so that this whole message of sustainability spreads to great lengths throughout our community. So I really value what you all are doing there. And I want to thank you for joining us today to share your personal story as well as your professional story.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you as well.
All right. Well, Ralph, we will see you another time, hopefully soon. Again, I want folks to know that this segment was brought to you by Pepco, where they deliver more than energy. And look forward to seeing you sometime soon again.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. I'm going to say this sort of in between every segment. Father's Day is Sunday, you all. Don't forget. Father's Day is Sunday. Either your father or father figure in your household, please give them the love that they deserve and wish them a happy Father's Day. And I'm going to say it to two folks that I think are watching right now. Stacey Brown, our senior reporter here at Washington Informer, but also at the National Newspaper Publishers Association, as well as Michael Von Lasseter. Happy Father's Day to you too. And any other father that's watching right now. We were talking about doing something for Mother's Day that addressed, what was it? What did Mama always say? Mama used to say, that's what it was. So if you're watching and you have some interesting comments about what Daddy used to say, as you know, my daddy always used to say two things. If it is to be, it's up to me, and no one can save us for us but us. He said a whole lot of other stuff. But if you think of something Daddy used to say, put it in the chat because we'd love to share it. So it's my pleasure now to bring on our next guest, Tikisha Wilson, Director of Single Family Programs at the DC Housing Finance Agency. Tikisha, thank you and welcome to Let's Talk.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's good to see you. And this is what, National Home Ownership Month?
It is.
Right. So tell us, about the DC Housing Finance Agency and some of the things that you all are doing to promote home ownership in the DMV.
Sure. So DCHFA is a financial intermediary and administrator of affordable housing programs and resources within the district. In the single family wheelhouse, we offer down payment assistance programs to aid in the affordability of purchasing a home. So we offer programs that you can actually utilize to pay for your entire down payment in the purchase of a home. We have our flagship program, which is our DC Open Doors program. And we also have our DC For Me program, which is geared or catered towards DC government employees.
Well, it's amazing. Home ownership is a dream and a challenge.
It
And
is.
we as African Americans, have experienced both, right, over
Great.
our time in this country. So it's
Mhm.
interesting that you all are involved in what you're involved with and helping in that process. And I know that you're hosting a housing fair soon. Tell us about that.
We are hosting our annual homeownership fair on Saturday, June the 22nd, on the campus of Gallaudet University at the Kellogg Conference Center. And we will have a robust lineup of lenders, realtors, community-based organizations, as well as our DC partners and nonprofits. And so this is a great opportunity for potential home buyers as well as repeat home buyers to come and just utilize the tools being offered at the fair in order to help them in their home ownership journey.
The mayor, as well as the president, the mayor of the District of Columbia, as well as the president, the director of HUD, all of these agencies have goals. They are talking about how the percentage by which they want to increase home ownership, particularly among African Americans, when we have this great wealth gap and we have this related home ownership gap. What is DC HFA doing, does the agency have a goal that it's striving to meet to make an impact on the others?
Yes, we do. We are trying to really move the needle in making housing more affordable for people within the district. We have our programs that can be leveraged in order to do so. We're in the process of doing an overview of our current programs to see if maybe we need to expand our programs so we can help more people within the district. We're really aiming towards moving the needle in putting those 20,000 new net homeowners or home buyers in homes, which speaks towards what the mayor's goal is as well.
Credit, I think you all know, is one of the biggest barriers for those who are trying to purchase a home. So talk a little bit about that and what you know about, how long it might take someone with a low credit score to become credit ready for the home buying process.
That's a good question. Very good question. And it just really depends on the situation and the home buyer. We have community-based organizations that offer counseling services and educational services as well. That can aid in credit repair and credit education. And having a healthy credit score really helps you with your interest rate. It helps you qualify for programs that you may not be eligible for if you have a lower credit score. And a lot of people don't realize, but it also aids in your mortgage insurance payment as well. So a lot of things derive from a healthy credit score. We will offer a credit education or credit counseling class on site at our homeownership fair on the 22nd. So it really is somewhat of a perfect ebb and flow for someone that's looking to purchase a home, because they can start at the beginning, talking to one of our community-based organizations, get started in the process, see where they are in the process, see if they do qualify. Then you can move on to maybe getting pre-qualified with a lender. After that, then we have realtors on site that you can speak with as well. And it's just the entire housing ecosystem will be there in order for borrowers to leverage to get to the next step.
Well, one of the things that I know that those who are trying to become home buyers need is a little bit of hand-holding, particularly for younger people,
Mm-hmm.
who are coming out and they have student loans that they're dealing with and they're trying to work to get those loans paid off. But at the same time, now they're beginning to, start families and, what's there for them, and what is DCHFA providing to support that community, which may even have included you.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And we do have individuals on site as well as staff in single family that's there specific to handhold you through the process. We have our business development and outreach manager within single family that offers first-time home buyer classes. You don't necessarily have to be a first-time home buyer. You can be a repeat home buyer, but just need help in just getting to the next step because maybe you hadn't been through the process in some time. She will actually, our business development and outreach manager, she will actually facilitate a class on site at our home ownership fair on the 22nd as well. So please come out and just utilize these resources given to you. So in addition to getting credit education or credit counseling, you can also speak to a professional and help you through the process. It's really it will really be a transformative opportunity and experience for someone looking to purchase a home.
That's fantastic, Tikisha. The other thing that you all don't have much power over, none of us, is the affordability of homes in the District of Columbia.
Correct.
So is there, do you all still see opportunities for homeowners to purchase here?
Yes.
It's been pretty tough.
It has been. It has.
Okay.
And what a lot of borrowers may not know is there are quite a few programs out there and you can stack programs. Meaning if you utilize our down payment assistance program, our DC Open Doors, which offers 3% and 3.5%, you may also qualify for another program that you can use in unison with our programs. And in doing so, you'll be able to leverage additional funds in order to aid in making that purchase more affordable.
That's amazing. That's good. Who thinks about it? Because you always think, well, I can go to this store and try this, and then I'm done. There are no more opportunities, but you can layer programs, which that's fantastic. And I'd like to ask the last guest, and I kind of want to ask you too about your home ownership journey. Have you started on that yourself, and what's it been like?
I have. We have, I should say, I'm actually married, and we purchased our first home when I was actually 20, and my husband was 22.
Amazing.
So we have really made it our mission to try to just help additional people gain access to affordable home ownership. So yes, we have done that, and it is attainable. And of course, we were met with our own struggles when trying to purchase our home because we were young. We didn't know the process, didn't know what questions to ask, didn't know what we could and what we could not do, or what services may have been out there. And that's one reason why I really wanted to get into affordable housing.
That's amazing. That's wonderful because, like I said, you and your family are an example of what can happen, and I'm sure that kind of goes into what you share with folks from time to time. I hope I didn't put you on the spot on that, but I'm glad to hear that story because so many of us share a journey, right?
I agree.
If folks can't make it to the fair, and I want you to give us the details about that again, but if they can't make it to the fair on Saturday, how can they learn more about DCHFA homeownership programs?
So if you can't make it to the fair, please make sure to go to our website at www.dchfa.org. You can maneuver to the contact section. There's a drop down, click single family, insert your question. It goes directly to our single family mailbox, and our entire team gets that message. So one of the professionals within single family lending will reach out to you and walk you through whatever process you need hand-holding with.
That's wonderful. And you guarantee that somebody's going to get back within a reasonable amount of time.
We sure will.
Yeah, because you know how we are, how we can be impulsive sometimes, and in the middle of the night, a voice speaks to us and says, you know, you ought to check on whether you can buy a home, and you make that move, and then nobody talks to you. So you kind of lose the dream. So it sounds like
Correct.
you all are ready, eager, and waiting to support people.
We are.
Good.
And thankfully, it doesn't just go to one person. It goes to the entire team. And we have a wealth of knowledge on our single family team. So anyone that responds, they're more than capable to answer your questions.
So give us the details again, Tikisha, where the fair will take place and time.
Sure. Sure. It is on Saturday, June 22nd, on the campus of Gallaudet University at the Kellogg Conference Center. And we will kick off at 10 a.m. And it will be from 10 to 3 p.m. that day.
And free and open to anybody that's exploring the home buying opportunities.
That is correct. You can maneuver to our website as well to register for the event. You can go to dchfa.org and then click on events, scroll to the 22nd, click on the link to register. However, if you do not have the time to register, or for some reason you can't, don't let that deter you from coming, because you can be a walk-in. Walk-ins are welcome.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you so very much for being with us today, for sharing this great information. Again, this is National Home Ownership Month, and we're focusing on home ownership here, home buying in the District of Columbia. And Tikisha Wilson, I really appreciate you. You're the Director of Single Family Programs at the DC Housing Finance Agency, and you've been great. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All righty. Talk soon.
Have a good day.
You too. So, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of young folks right now that are looking at the possible opportunity. It's hard enough to rent in DC, talking about buying a home. But when you know that there are folks out there that will help, that certainly does make a difference. And I'm glad that we were able to bring them to you today. Now, our next guests are from Tudor Place, with this segment that's sponsored by Tudor Place. And I'm really, really excited to have them with us. Do we have a video or something? Okay, all right. We have photographs that we're going to share with you all. But Tudor Place is one of those, I call it a jewel in the District of Columbia. We have so many wonderful historic places that we drive by and walk by every single day. And this is one of those places. And I'm honored to have Robert DeHart, who is the curator of Tudor Place, and a descendant of Tudor Place, Karl Haynes, with us to talk about actually what I hope we're going to see when we come for our annual African American Heritage Tour in July. So, gentlemen, welcome to Let's Talk.
Thanks, Denise.
Thank you, Denise.
I am so excited. I'm going to start with you, Rob. Can you tell us a little bit, about Tudor Place, where it is, what you all do there, and then we're going to talk about the Ancestral Spaces exhibit.
Sure. Tudor Place, it was the home of one of the granddaughters of Martha Washington, Thomas or Martha Peter. So it was built, it's in Georgetown, on the heights of Georgetown. They came here in 1805. They finished the house in 1816. And what's unique about the house is that the Peter family owned it all the way up until the last owner in 1983, and then it became a museum. So kind of unusual to have a home be owned by the same family all through its almost 200-year history. It was also home to generations of enslaved and free workers. And a lot of people don't realize, because you look at Georgetown now and you think about it as a very rich white neighborhood, it was a very Black neighborhood. In the early stages of its founding, a lot of free African Americans lived in Georgetown. So a lot of our story is also tied to all those different laborers and workers for whom Tudor Place was a home as much as the Peter family.
And so what you all have done there is, which is, makes me always feel impacted because, you probably know this, Karl. You go to places all over this country and there's a certain aspect of the history that's been maintained. And then when it comes to people that look like yourself and myself, it's like, oh, they were here, but they were over there. And there's nothing that reflects our lives during that period.
Absolutely.
So now you have these ancestral spaces. You're collaborating with the descendants, of which you happen to be one. I want both of you all to talk, though, about the artifacts. But before we do, Karl, talk about your family.
So my family, John Luckett, who's featured in the exhibit, came from Virginia during the Civil War. During the Second Battle of Bull Run in 1862, give or take a few months, he and several other slaves, they decided that they had enough of the war and they were going to walk away. They were going to walk away from slavery. He was one of the ones that went through with the whole process. He walked from a town called Lewinsville, Virginia. It's now known as, it's now included in McLean. He walked there in 1862. He walked from there to Georgetown, happened to walk by Tudor Place, and asked the owner of the house at the time, a lady by the name of Britannia Peter Kennan, asked her for a job. She hired him, and from 1862 to 1906, he worked there as the house gardener. That's 44 years.
Wow. That's amazing. And so there were generations of family members that lived there as well.
So he was the only family member that really worked there. So while he worked there, he raised his family in Southwest Washington, D.C. So my family's been in D.C. since then. And I was one of the last ones to be born there. They're facets of the family. They're still all over the D.C. area. I currently live in Virginia myself. I was raised in Prince George's County. So we've been here since the Civil War, so to speak.
Yeah, we some of us know about that. I call it the DC migration from Georgetown to Foggy Bottom to Southwest and then to Anacostia. We used to write about that a lot. So Rob, tell us about ancestral spaces, about the exhibit. What else will folks see if they come to Tudor Place?
What we've done with this exhibit is totally switch the power dynamics of the interpretation of Tudor Place. Just like you were saying, Denise, a lot of historic houses, it's from the white family's perspective, and then sometimes in these side rooms, back rooms, they'll talk a little bit about domestic labor or slavery. So we decided with this installation, since we talked about the white Peter family for 35 years, it was okay to not talk about them for a bit and just talk about the people who were enslaved here, or like Karl's ancestor, who were free laborers at Tudor Place. So we tell everything from their perspective, from the oral histories we have, from the artifacts that we have, including some oral histories. Karl has helped us with some of that as far as with these recordings that you see. This is one of the call bells, but he also tells the story of his ancestors' self-emancipation. You hear it through his voice, which is really moving. And basically, this has just been a fantastic opportunity to look at the house in a totally new and different way. And it's really resonated with visitors. We have found that you can tell a story about a home without talking about the owners. You know, you can focus on all the other people that are associated with that home, because they have a lot of stories too. And Karl, working with Karl and the other descendants and stakeholders, their perspectives are invaluable, because we sometimes don't have a lot of information about these people. But people like Karl, even if they don't have a direct history of John Luckett, they have their own perspectives, you know, because they're related, and they think, well, I think he probably thought this. And so we really saw ourselves as facilitators. Karl, the other descendants, stakeholders, they were really the curators. We were just trying to take their vision and make it happen at Tudor Place.
Karl, how did you learn about your great Mr. Luckett? How did you learn about him?
Through Ancestry. A few years ago, I started a genealogy project where I was trying to trace my family's origins. At the time, the only thing I knew were my parents and my grandparents. I knew nothing above and beyond that. And going back through history, looking at old census records, looking at obituaries, I was able to trace my lineage all the way back to John Luckett. And one of his obituaries mentioned that he was the gardener of Tudor Place from 1862 to 1906. And then I found another obituary that actually had a photograph of him and told more of his life story. That's how I was able to fully make the connection. And then, lo and behold, one day, via Ancestry, Rob reached out to me and we started a dialogue about my ancestors' legacy at Tudor Place.
Before then, were you aware of Tudor Place? Had you ever been there?
Before then, I had never been to Tudor Place. I was aware of it.
Okay.
I knew it was in Georgetown. I knew that it was one of the historical properties because it's near Dumbarton Oaks, and it was one of the places that, you know, growing up that I had planned to visit but never actually got around to it because there's so much history in DC that sometimes you don't get to see it all. But now knowing that this is part of my legacy makes it a very important part for not just me, but for my family as well.
And when you visit, I know you've been there, you're now telling stories. What do you feel when you're there?
I feel a sense of completeness. I want to say that walking the streets of Tudor Place, I feel like I'm walking in my ancestors' footsteps. And that to me is very important. Yeah.
Well, I hope to walk in your ancestors' footsteps as well in the next month. Rob, how did you all gain access to some of the items that you have on collection there? Were they there buried? Were they in where were they?
Yeah, they were there, and a lot of it, and a lot of museums are doing this now. It's about reinterpretation. It's like you look at objects like the call bells we used to have, like that you showed pictures of. People would see them and they go, "Oh, Downton Abbey." That's the first thing they would think about. But now we talk about them as they're a source of irritation. And we have a tape of them, a recording where people can hear what they sound like. And you think how you had to hear this sound all day. And then you think about the little acts of resistance that probably occurred all the time when people pretended not to hear them and took their time getting where they had to go. So yes, a lot of these artifacts were here. It's about looking with them with new eyes and trying to look at them from perspectives other than the enslaver families.
And also, Rob, I'd like to know from you how, again, we know how you connected with Karl, but was that the same, was Ancestry the same tool you used to find some of those ancestors or descendants, I should say? And Karl, what has it been like to connect with some of them that, whose family members may have been there the same time Mr. Luckett was there? But Rob?
Yes, we use Ancestry a lot. We're learning more all the time. Since this exhibition is open, we've met more descendants because they've come, after hearing about it. For us, not only getting Karl's, I'm glad he said about making complete, because we have all these photographs of his ancestor, and I knew Karl didn't have them. And that's one of the reasons we reached out to him. It's like we wanted to share these things. These really, is his family. We have tools that Mr. Luckett used. We wanted him to be able to hold those tools. So it's, to me, it was selfish to think we would hold all this information and not make sure it's shared with the families that should share in that stuff.
And Karl, what about connections to other individuals who may have been there at the same time your ancestor was?
Absolutely astonishing. It's like going into the past and bringing it forth into the present and actually meeting someone who may have been in the presence of my ancestor, whose ancestor may have been in the presence of my ancestor. Like meeting Ann Chin and hearing her story was just beyond amazing. It's more than amazing. It's inspiring. It's one of the things I'll say that has given me more drive to continue in the process that I'm doing to try and map out my entire family history.
Wow. Well, I look forward to hearing more of your story, and Rob, to seeing what you all have been able to collect and preserve there at Tudor Place. Tell us again where it is, just in case folks don't make it on the tour with us. But, if you could tell, where it's located hours that it's open, that sort of thing?
Sure. It's 1644 31st Street. It's on the, like I said, it's not far from Wisconsin. It's a little bit east from Wisconsin, but it's kind of on the heights. We're open Tuesday through Sunday. Tuesday through Saturday, it's 10 to 4. Sunday, it's 12 to 4. And admission is by donation, suggested donation, and the gardens are always free. So we really love it for people to come out and just enjoy their days here. Of course, now it's going to get really hot, and that's all going to. It's been beautiful recently, but that's going to change here real soon.
Well, that's that's still sort of what am I trying to say? What we can remember about what everybody had to go through. I mean, they went through those seasons as well.
Oh,
so.
that's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. So we're 5.5 acres in Georgetown,
Wow,
which is kind of unusual. Yeah. And I think still people look at it as like, is this a private residence? But no, it's a museum. You can just walk on the property.
I always thought so. So now I know.
Yeah.
Karl, you have an event coming up, right?
Yes, on Tuesday, it's a membership only event at Tudor Place where we're going to do a deeper dive into ancestral spaces, where Rob and I will be discussing the process that we went through to come up with this installation and give a few little hidden details that aren't exactly inside the installation itself.
Wow, nice.
We believe it starts June 18th. It's at 6 p.m. It's at the Dower House, which is located right next to Tudor Place.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank both of you all for being with us today. Karl, you're taking me back with that pick, that Afro pick right there. Does it have it have a fist on the end?
Absolutely. This right here. I've had this pick for 30 years. I got this pick right before I graduated high school. One of my aunts gave this to me.
Wow. Yeah. I wish I used to have one of those. Those are, well, not quite as long, but nice. Okay. But thank you all for joining us. Looking forward to hearing more and to seeing you all sometime soon. And again, if you haven't been to Tudor Place, please check it out.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
worth a visit. All right, you guys have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Thanks, Denise.
Bye. All righty. Bye-bye. So, we're talking about Tudor Place, but I just also want to share with you, you all know it's Juneteenth, right? Coming up this week. On, is it Wednesday? Wednesday, yes, Juneteenth, Wednesday. So we have Mohamed Jollah, who's the organizer of the Juneteenth in here in the District of Columbia. Mohamed, Sherry's trying to correct me on the spelling of on the pronunciation of your last name. I see Jallo, and I see Jollah. So help me out here.
Yeah, so it's Jollah.
Jollah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Jollah, but some people say Jallo.
Yeah. Like, okay. All right. I won't go with what I was getting ready to say. Huh?
It's pronounced Jallo in certain countries, like in the Gambia, they spell it with the W, but it's we're all the same people.
All right. Well, hey, yes, I like that. We're all the same people there. But anyway, thank you for being with us today. And you are organizing this Juneteenth celebration here in DC at Bryant Street. Tell us why. What made you decide to coordinate this?
So I'm a part of the committee that put together the Juneteenth event at Bryant Street. The reason why we did it is because just it goes back to the history of Juneteenth. Juneteenth was a celebration, of our freedom. Obviously, slaves had been freed since 1863. But technically did not know that they were free or become free till 1865, and the first celebration took place in 1866. So what we're doing is we're just continuing the legacy here at the Bryant Street Market. Washington, D.C., as we know, is a very Black city, with a lot of we have a lot of our ancestors within us in the district. Like any other city, unlike any other city in D.C., I feel like we're a very robust Black culture, and just thought it'd be good to bring that to this new community, this up and coming community, at the Bryant Street Market.
So where's the Bryant Street Market?
It's right off of Rhode Island Avenue.
Okay.
It's where the old former mills used to be.
Yeah.
Right off of the Rhode Island Avenue train station. It leads right into the Bryant Street Market.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that area has really developed. So I'm glad that something like this is happening there because, as our neighborhoods are transitioning, You know, we need to maintain some sense of history, right? So I'm glad you're doing this. And I'll just say quickly, you know, my dad was from Texas. So all my life I grew up hearing about Juneteenth. Of course, you know, I like celebrating Emancipation Day in April for DC, but I learned about Juneteenth at a very, very early age. And when you first heard about Juneteenth, what went through your mind?
So the story I heard when I first heard about Juneteenth was basically, like I said, this story I heard. So it was that the slaves had already been free and the people in Texas didn't know. And some slaves came down, or some freedmen came down, and they were like, y'all don't know, we're free already. And so that was the story I heard. And I was like, how come the message never got down to the people in Texas? So when I first heard about it, I'm like, that's a crazy story. But I was glad to hear that, you know, the people went and put on their best outfits and created a celebration out of it, you know, to celebrate, say, hey, we're now free people.
Right. My father always say he died in 1994, but he died an angry Black man because this was before there was a Juneteenth holiday. And he just thought about his ancestors, you know, in Texas, who were probably among those who were still enslaved while the rest of freedmen were all over the country, except in his community or in his state. Tell us what you're putting together for the Juneteenth celebration.
Okay, yeah. So for the Juneteenth celebration, we're gonna be partnering with DC Parks and Recreation. We're gonna start the day off with some health and wellness. There's gonna be yoga, sound bath, and then we'll be doing a workout activation with F45. So we start off the morning, you know, on the right side with health and wellness, and then from there we'll be having entertainments. We're having like Afro-Brazilian dancing. We'll be having like African drum lines. We'll be having MPD side by side with the go-go band, and then we'll have like a local like female DJ. So we'll have food trucks, food vendors. So it's going to be like a party.
It sounds like a celebration, no question. Yeah, and who are going to be some of your performers? I know you mentioned Side by Side and Junkyard and what have you. Anybody else special?
So we have so there's a group called Batala. They'll be doing like the Afro Brazilian. We also have we have. I'm losing some of the names on there. I know that we have my organization, Jollah Coffee. We'll be giving out free coffee and tea and breakfast foods in the morning. So for the first 250 people, y'all can stop on by and get, you know, free coffee and free pastries in the morning.
Wonderful. And is this a free event?
Yes, free.
Okay.
All right. It's completely free for the community. I mean, it wouldn't be right to charge, you know, people to come celebrate Juneteenth. So everything's free all day. You just got to come on down. People can head over to the BryantStreetDC.com/events page, and you can go on there, go to the June 19th date, click, learn more. You can RSVP over there.
And how would you recommend people get there? How should they take Metro? Can they, if they drive, is parking available? What do you have set up?
I always recommend Metro.
Okay.
Put a little less pollution out into the world. Literally, the Metro, the steps go right into the Bryant Street. But if you do drive, there's outdoor parking as well as garage parking. So we have plenty of parking for those who you know, are commuting from somewhere far.
Wonderful. And then I don't know why I'm asking this question, but someone suggested that I ask, but dress code, any rules for the day?
You can wear whatever you like.
Just wear something.
Yeah, you can wear, wear something. Understand that there will be children there. So, you know, I think family-friendly attire. Wonderful. But other than that, you know, wear whatever you please.
Is this your first event, Mohamed, that you all have put together for Juneteenth?
Yeah, at the Bryant Street Market, yes, it's the first. This is the first event. But
and go ahead, I'm sorry.
But this will be the first of many.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, are you planning for this to be an annual event? I guess that's what I'm.
Yeah. So it's going to be an annual celebration. The Bryant Street Market is a fairly new market. Just opened up this year.
Okay.
So it's not even like fully open yet, as we're the last vendor coming in. But yeah, the community's pretty new. And it's a lot of like African Americans in this community. Like a lot. So it's a lot of working professionals, people that I went to school with, and so it's a lot of us here.
Okay, where'd you go to school?
I went to the best. Howard University.
Woo-hoo, HU.
You know.
All right, all right. I'm a 2-time Howard grad, so
Okay.
love
Right,
spreading a
fellow
little
Bison.
love. Yeah, yeah. And so this sounds exciting. This sounds exciting. Do you need any help? You need volunteers? You're still trying to get some funding? What's happening? Any
Yeah,
of that?
if anybody would like to volunteer, you can always reach out directly to us. You can reach out to the Bryant Street Market, DC. You can get a hold of like Kellen. You can reach out to Jollah Coffee on any of the social media platforms, and we love to have people who want to be involved. I mean, our whole concept of this Bryant Street is about community. So no gatekeeping over here.
I love it. I love it. I want to thank you for waiting patiently, but taking time to share this event with us on Saturday. Again, one more time, give us the time.
So we'll be going it's starting at 8 a.m. throughout the whole day.
Okay. All right. Sounds fantastic. Well, thank you. I know you got a lot of work to do to get prepared, but thanks a lot for being with us and for sharing this with our audience.
All right. Thank you for having me. Have a good one.
My pleasure. You too. Bye. All righty. So I want to thank those of you. I am just seeing numbers of folks that are watching the show today. Now, I didn't get any, at least on the chat here, of what your daddy used to tell you or what your father used to tell you. I wanted to share some of those with our viewers. But anyway, it's okay. It's all right. I know some things we can't even share. So, but that's good. I just want to make sure that we remember to wish the fathers and the other father-like figures in our lives a happy Father's Day on Sunday. It's really a great day. I've just seen so many wonderful, we hear such negative things, particularly about Black fathers, but if you walk the streets of DC, you actually see particularly young fathers with their children. And I am always just thrilled to see that, taking them to school in the morning, taking them shopping, taking them to the library, the playground. I see it. So, let's commend those fathers that are doing what they feel is the best thing they can do within their power to be the best father for the children that they have. So I want to thank you for watching Let's Talk today, and a special thank you to our segment sponsors, Pepco and Tudor Place Historic House and Garden. Of course, thank you, Ralphael Bolton, Tikisha Wilson, Rob DeHart, Karl Haynes, and Mohamed Jollah. I think I said that right. And also to Chevry Lassiter, Jamon Jackson, and DeMarco Rush, who are in the background here trying to keep this program going. I really appreciate their support. And most importantly, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to pick up this week's copy of the Washington Informer, and to follow us and share with all of your friends and relations. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay cool because it's going to be hot. And maybe I'll see you out and about. I'm your host, Denise Rollard Barnes, signing off.